What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 12 of the 2K Robinhood Options Trading Challenge. In this series, we started a Robinhood account with 2K, and we are trying to grow it to 3K as quickly as possible. And in this video, we are going to be covering all of the trades made during the week of October 24th and see how much we were able to profit. But before we get into all of the trades, if you haven't already, make sure you drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. This week should have gone so much more different than it ended up turning out to be. Honestly, a lot of the earnings and everything kind of scared me off this week, and I traded behind and I over traded significantly this week. So we could see that the market just traded up in a line, and normally for our strategy, selling put credit spreads, that would have been perfect for us. And honestly, we had the week set up to have another profitable week and be in, a good shape, but overall we kind of over traded. We saw Google's earnings, we saw Facebook's earnings, and there was a lot of negativity in the market. So we tried to, position ourselves to capitalize on that. And we honestly could have. We put ourselves actually in a good spot, but we didn't close out of a couple of trades in time. So let's go ahead and actually jump into some of these trades and take a look at where we made mistakes this week. The first trade that we made this week was on SoFi. So we came out here and we're going to continue running the wheel on SoFi. I love the stock. So we came down here to the $5 mark and we sold a put against the stock for $13, and we were able to get the order filled at that mark. And this SoFi trade actually worked out for us pretty well. So you can see here that the original put that we put on for $5 was all the way down to $3 in premium. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to buy that put back, and I wanted to sell the 550. So you can see there the two options that we're trying to roll. Basically, we're trying to roll up in terms of our strike price from $5 to $550, and we were able to collect more premium with that. So we actually bought back our original put for $3, and then we weren't able to get $8 out of this trade. We were only able to get $7. So basically we sold the 550 put for $10. And this actually, again, worked out really, really well because the stock traded up. It kind of hovered around that 550 mark, and then it ended up gapping down into Friday around 544, I think is kind of around where it ended. So we did end up getting forced to buy 100 shares of SoFi at 550, which actually I am perfectly fine with, because what we'll do is we'll turn around and sell a call at 550 next week, and that will help us collect premium, and then hopefully we can get some stock appreciation, because I should have rolled the trade out last week. If we hadn't gotten scared off by earnings, this would have been another great trade. So we came down here, sold a put at the 372, 371 strikes, and we were able to get a fill here for, I believe, around $8 or $9. And basically, again, this would have been a great trade, but the market kind of freaked us out, and we ended up selling out of this position later, which I will show you. And here's me actually closing out two trades. So this is when the market kind of freaked me out, right? Earnings was just terrible for a lot of companies. And I forgot to show or record that trade that I showed there. So that was like 358, 357 strikes. I was able to put a put in this week at those strikes. And for some reason, again, just the market was freaking me out with all these downward moves and these terrible earnings. I expected Apple to have basically a terrible earnings report, which you'll see here in a second. We'll get into a little bit more. But basically, I got out of these trades before they, I felt like I could suffer a large loss. So with earnings being terrible across the board for a lot of big tech companies, I expected Apple to report something similar. So I went out here a week in advance to November 4th, and I was kind of willing to risk around $25. I figured if I put on two trades and risk 50, there's a lot of upside potential with it. So I put on a trade here, one contract for $23, and ended up getting the fill for it, just buying a put against Apple that it potentially could go down to $125. So I even doubled down. So I went out here to December 2nd and bought another put. This one was all the way down at the $100 mark. With these crazy moves, some of these stocks were experiencing 20% moves, which was absolutely insane. So I thought, Apple should be in a similar situation to some of these other tech companies, Google, Amazon, everybody else. So I came down here, doubled down on that position, and hoped for the best. But you'll see here in a second the result from those trades. And these trades were actually up. One of them was up by over 200% at one point in time. Before earnings was announced, the trades were actually up by a significant amount. You can see here that it was down 92%. So it went up to, around like $63, $65, somewhere in there, and then crashed all the way down after earnings. Apple actually announced a beat. So you can see me just closing out these trades. I figured, it's not going to happen. Obviously, if Apple beat, the stock spiked up in a significant way. So I was just basically totally wrong on this, and, it just didn't work out. And for me, my biggest problem is sometimes when I get into a contrarian mindset, I just keep running with it. So I tried to, again, do a recovery trade on Friday. So I went up here and I was looking at these strikes. This one kind of ticked me off because basically I came in here, I was looking at this 389, 390 kind of area and basically put the trade in, was able to collect $8. And then I turned around and tried to put an order in to basically close out this trade if the stock spiked up to, or if this trade spiked up to like $20. And basically once I put that in, it just automatically filled at $10 and closed the trade, which kind of just made me upset. But it is what it is. I also traded another trade that I didn't get captured here. And that one I put in slightly below this one. And it was only a $50 width on the strikes. And that one also just turned into a loser. So here we'll jump over to the Excel and I'll show you actually all the trades because I did miss some of the videos. It was just a hectic week. Again, I just over traded way too much this week. So let's go ahead and jump over to the Excel. Here we have the Excel sheet where we are tracking all of our trades for this challenge. And we can see this area highlighted in blue are all the trades that we made this week. So this is absolutely insane, way over traded. You can see compared to the last couple of weeks where we were profitable both weeks, we only traded 3 times during those weeks. And that was, you know, the perfect amount, easy to track, easy to keep track of, you know, follow the progress and make sense. Here, there was just so much earnings announcements and so many things going on that it just, you know, turned into a blur and was not good. The first trades that we made at the start of the week, that was perfect. This SoFi trade was exactly how you want to execute it. And basically we put on the trade again for $13, bought it back for $3, and then sold another put for $10. And we ended up getting the fill, and SoFi is still trading right around this 550 mark. So we should be able to collect a decent amount of premium next week when we sell a call against it. So overall, that was definitely the best trade of the week. Very well executed. In total, collected $20 there, but then it just went downhill. You can see again, this is when we kind of chickened out of a couple trades. So we made the trade here, lost $1 on that because we were again worried about earnings. During this week, we also actually made this trade, but I pushed this one out till next week, lost $2 on that trade. And then here's all the Apple trades. So you can see in total, you know, we collected $10 back, but we spent $45. So overall lost $35 on that trade. And then we tried trading these put credit spreads at the, or sorry, call credit spreads at the end of the week when the market was spiking up. And we were kind of, you know, just trying to play a hedge against it not spiking significantly. And that didn't work out for us either. So we lost $2 on this trade and then lost $19 on this trade. So overall though, on the week, we only lost $37, which for over trading in a very significant way, that is not that bad. I do not feel too bad about that. We cut our losses early, and that's something that I wanted to work on and want to work on, continue to work on with some of these put credit spreads, because some of the times I kind of just think that they're going to get back, you know, and get back into a good spot. But what I want to start doing is focusing around that $25 mark. If I'm trading $100 width on a strike, then if the trade goes against me and gets up to, you know, around $25, close out of the trade and just cut your losses. Because what we've seen in the past in this challenge is some big losses from basically not cutting trades early enough. So we can see in here, you know, $300, $65, $44. So this week we actually cut our losses very early. We over traded. We made a lot of mistakes and we still only lost $37. So honestly, not too upset with that. So let's go ahead and actually jump over the Robinhood account and we'll show you where we are standing. Here we have the Robinhood account, and we can see that we had a high of the week around $1,670 and then a low on Friday of around $1,520. So again, just a lot of bad things kind of going on. The market collapsing really hurt us with some of our debit spreads on here. So this trade at one point was around $140 and now it's down to $115. And then obviously some of these other spreads have also basically gotten destroyed. This one's basically at zero. We should, you know, we're not going to close it out. We only have a few days left. We'll just let it run and see what happens with it. And then you see here also the SoFi shares that I talked about that we got exercised on. So it'll be interesting to go on there, see how much premium we can collect next week when we sell a call against that. But we really need to, you know, get back on track. When those Apple shares or Apple puts basically fell through the floor, that's what you're seeing here, right? Apple We actually had a good spike here because basically that was offsetting some of the losses we were seeing in some of our other stocks. But then, when that turned around, the difference in those Apple shares and then some of the losses that we suffered, that just drove the account down. So overall, sitting at $1,541.57, down almost a little over 5.5% this week. So that's not great, but I'm fairly confident we can, recover from that, especially if some of these other trades, start to recover. SoFi's a big bet because if that stock goes up, $1, then that's $100 to the account value, which is, going to be huge in the long run. Overall, the account is down significantly. So we are down almost $500, $458.43. So not terrible. All of it really coming from, that 1 week and just not cutting a lot of those spreads early enough. So that really killed us. Other than that, we've been trading relatively sideways. So hopefully we can, turn around with SoFi and get some of these gains back and get this, challenge back on track. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the transparency, seeing all the trades, seeing the mistakes that I've made, hopefully learning from the mistakes that I've made and, avoiding them yourselves. So I hope you guys enjoy that. If you did, drop a like down below. And if you want to see more videos like this one, make sure you hit that sub button. And as always, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day.